quick talk that just popped into my mind.
Oh dear.
If we're thinking that Asuka's gonna debut as a face, joining up the main roster and feuding with Alexa Bliss, what are the chances of her actually debuting as a heel? Since that's how she went out on NXT.
Well, I'm gonna say low because I don't think she really. That's not really the final word when she left NXT. She may have played the heel in her last match, but not on her last moment on TV.
Forfeiting the belt?
Forfeiting the belts, and then Ember Moon comes out and they sort of like peacefully part ways, and very face stuff all around. So really, especially if Alexa Bliss just sort of retains, again, if they were going to position her as a heel, I would say Sasha Banks takes it because that's going to be more of a marquee money match.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be in the more immediate future. I really can't shake the feeling that not only would it be a better match, but it would also be a more compelling narrative to see this sort of a cocky, wormy Alexa Bliss finally get her comeuppance at the hands of an absolute monster like Asuka.
Okay, now I have a second Scholars Quick Talk on the same topic.
Yes.
And if so, how long do you think that'll last before they decide to break it?
Briefly. I think they're going to do it just long enough to get at least one big marquee money match out of it, like Asuka versus Sasha Banks at something like a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series, some sort of big show style pay-per-view. Maybe it's Starrcade for whatever that's worth. Who knows?
Starrcade.
Maybe at the Royal Rumble for all we know.
Again, my immediate response to Starrcade. What?
Hey, might be cool. Again, you're talking to a guy who cut his teeth on the world of professional wrestling on WCW, on Starrcades. So, yeah. I'm not going to knock that until I try it, but...
Not again, as much as Cody Rhodes is knocking it.
Oh, Cody Rhodes... Oh, don't even get me started on Cody Rhodes. I like Cody Rhodes, but... Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I like Cody Rhodes, but his response to Michael Hayes inviting him to be a part of it was kind of immature. Yeah. To be nice.
Yeah, but again, we'll see how that drama unfolds in the weeks ahead.
We're probably going to talk about this again soon.
I know it. But in the meantime, we still have plenty of No Mercy left. Plenty of No Mercy? You know what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
Grammar is Jericho, whatever. But yeah, anyway.
You stupid idiot.
I am a stupid idiot. But not too much of a stupid idiot to see that Neville versus Enzo Amore for the Cruiserweight title. Who do you got?
Oh, you're going first on this one. It's your main man. I love Enzo, but he's more your main man than I am. Especially after what we talked about last week.
I'll tell you what. As much as I want to see Enzo take it, I'm not exactly sure if this is his time. Again, like what we were talking about with the women's title, do I want to see him win it? Do I want to see Enzo win it? Yes. But again, if they want to maintain him as a face, as this sort of likable guy, I really think they need... And if they really want to start taking his character a bit more seriously, and if he's going to take his character more seriously, I'm going to say they're going to need to do some sort of training montage, and then he wins the rematch. Which, again, I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be disappointed in the slightest if he ends up winning it this Sunday. But more than likely than not, in my opinion, I think Neville retains it, just so he beats down Enzo, and then just so Enzo gets to the point where he takes himself and his art more seriously, and then he comes back and totally wrecks Neville's world. So, but for now, I say Neville takes it.
I'm actually gonna second that. I'm gonna say Neville takes it. I won't be so kind about it as you are, but I'm just gonna say Enzo is so much he's in so deep in WWE's doghouse where just sending him to the Cruiserweight division and winning the title immediately would just be kind of an insult to the Cruiserweight division, and especially with Neville, where I won't say he won't go full like Rocky montage, punching raw meat, climbing this, running this up the stairs in Philadelphia type montage, but I definitely see like I want him to be out of this doghouse. I want him to be back on good terms, at least in WWE's eyes, because that. From what happened this past Raw, he just showed up and then all of a sudden Braun Strowman comes in and immediately destroys him for no other reason but WWE just wanting to continue to destroy him as much as possible. And I feel like if they just, okay, we hate you, we hate you, we hate you. Let's give you the Cruiserweight title. We still hate you, we still hate you, we still hate you. It's like it'll be the equivalent of Rey Mysterio winning the World Heavyweight title and then everyone just completely destroying him. Except it would be a complete taking a complete shit all over the Cruiserweight division, and like I said, all over Neville, with how much he's trying to keep this Cruiserweight division alive.
And you know what? I really don't think that's going to happen just because of how much of a company man that The Miz is. I think he sort of played the John Cena role during a couple weeks ago. In a sense, they essentially served as WWE's sort of unofficial mouthpiece.
It was last week.
It was, yeah. Wow, it seems like so long ago. Yeah, my point remains the same. I really do feel like he reflected the WWE's general attitude towards Enzo at that point, and just sort of made it a worked shoot. They want him to succeed. He's got plenty of potential to be a real big star, better than he is. And Enzo pretty much had to eat crow on live television. And just given the way everything was sort of positioned, yeah, I'm convinced there's absolutely some truth to what Miz said. But at the same time, it's not so extreme to the point where they want to demote him, quote unquote, to 205 Live and then just throw him in a title feud with Neville and just have him get completely demolished, and then that's it. I've got to believe there's going to be more to the Neville-Enzo feud.
I think there will.
I'm honestly convinced that if they still see money in Enzo, and if Enzo keeps his nose clean and stays on the grind, I'm convinced that he actually will end up winning the Cruiserweight title down the road. However, I'm just not convinced in the short term that's going to happen this weekend. And so that's why I'm saying Neville retains, and then we're just going to move on, bring it on to another feud. This feud continues on for at least another month, put it that way.
I won't say it's full contradictory of what I said last week, but I'll just say to an extent. I do think Enzo will win the Cruiserweight title. I think he's just pretty much what Triple H was in a long time ago after the MSG incident. It's pretty much just like, okay, you're just getting completely punished for all your stupidity for the stupidity you've done. We're going to make your life a living hell for a while, and then after that, it's like, okay, you learned your lesson? Yeah. Okay. Now let's act. You're a big money maker. Like you said, keep your nose clean, and we'll give you the Cruiserweight title. It's way too early for him to win it now, and I will think that's just an insult to Neville, and hope if it's to get Neville off the Cruiserweight title and then also I'm putting him back on the Raw roster instead of 205 Live, I'll be okay with it, but I seriously doubt that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's just a small part of me that actually wants him back on the Raw roster because I feel like he could do so much more.
True, but then again, I have to admit I am liking where this is going for the time being.
He's the face of the Cruiserweight division. I love it.
And just the dynamic between Neville and Enzo, that's another reason why I want to see this persist. It makes sense. It makes sense from a storyline perspective, and it makes sense from just an entertainment value perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Keep this going and just everyone's going to win eventually. But in the meantime, moving on from the cruiserweights, next up on the docket, we've got Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, the rematch. No demon makeup, just mano a mano. Fool, who do you got?
This is actually a very tough one for me.
Oh, I agree.
Because this feud has just gone so... I won't say go full-on ridiculous, because it's actually a lot better than what they did before. Because now there's actually a legit story to add to it. But the big question is this going to be the end of their feud once this match is over? I'm not sure. I can see them still going on with this, but it's the question on what the hell can they do? Like, would Bray be the one that's like, okay, now it's time for my redemption story. I defeated you as the man, and now I gotta have, well, like I said just a second ago, my redemption at defeating the demon, defeating your demons and all that, because I'm the eater of worlds and I'm evil personified, so on and so forth. Man, this is a tough one. Maybe it'll go 50-50 booking. Maybe they'll just... I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
All right. I have a guess. Again, you're right. This can go either way. But I'm going to go out on a limb on here, and I'm going to say Bray Wyatt wins this one.
Uncle Bray?
Uncle Bray wins this one. Just to sort of put the doubt in everyone's mind and keep Bray Wyatt just strong enough so that they do one more crazy match, even outside of the cage. And they just, I don't know, maybe there's a sort of question of, will Finn Balor tap into the demon again? And depending on the stipulation, will it actually matter? It'll really depend on what they end up doing with this and where they end up going with this in the end. But again, I'm sort of convinced that chances are good. I don't want to say it's actually going to happen guaranteed 100%, but I'm still kind of persuaded rather that Bray Wyatt is going to win this one, and then this is going to go on for one more month. And then that's when you're going to see the payoff where Finn Balor wins. But for now, my vote is for Bray Wyatt.
You know what? You convinced me. I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt as well.
I was hoping I didn't convince you, and then you're going to go Finn Balor just to be contrarian.
It's really hard to argue that, because it may happen that they'll just continue going with this feud, to have one more.
Well, they could just
one more rundown.
They could just as easily have Finn Balor win it, and then all of a sudden that's the end of the feud. Then both guys move on to their next one,
whatever the hell that is.
Hey, who knows? Who knows? Again, this could very easily be a real feud ender, or it could also be a feud extender. I'm just putting my money on just a feud extender for the time being. But this could go either way, ultimately. But yeah, I'm either way, my vote's for Bray Wyatt. Now it's your turn to have some fun. Because next up, we've got, for the Raw Tag Titles, the rematch. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Thank you. Who do you got?
I know what you're implying here. I know you're just keeping rubbing in because of my complete and utter love for Cesaro. That's possibly beyond sick.
I'm not judging.
Sure you are. Downright disturbed.
Ooh, wow.
Nice little there. I'm gonna say they're gonna keep the tag titles on Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I'm just going to say the same thing. As much as I love these guys working, I'm thinking that's something else. One of these guys everyone involved, rather, is going to move on to something else. But, yeah, I think this feud has sailed, and this one's pretty cut and dry, in my opinion.
It's going to be a great match, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be, like, when it comes to the non-main events, which will the next two matches, I think this one will be the match of the lower card.